the beloved Ascended Master Elmira speaks on spiritualism and the psychic realm. He says, "Friends of my heart, the beloved Mahachohan has requested that I speak to you a little on the subject of spiritualism, a word coined to cover the study of the psychic plane and its inhabitants. This is a subject which has engaged the mind of man for many long ages, having recurrent cycles of active interest, one of which seems to be rampant at the moment, which makes our reference to it at this time rather appropriate. Beloved friends, you must know that every being who ever incarnated on this planet did so of his own free will, having applied to the Godhead for permission to acquire mastery over the powers of creation in the world of form. This privilege having been lovingly conferred upon him, his next procedure was to apply to the cosmic law for sufficient life energy to complete his mission. This life essence, being an emanation from the body of the Godhead, is held in such priceless esteem by the cosmic law that any life stream applying for its use literally has to sign up for the amount released, and it is only given then on condition that it is returned within the time specified with interest in the way of accomplishments. Everyone who breathes the breath of life, dear friends, no matter in which sphere he abides, has signed this document before the cosmic law at one time or another. When man defaulted in his obligation to the cosmic law for the return of this energy, the period allowed for the attainment for his mastery being approximately 14,000 years, under the supervision of the 7 Chohans of the rays, the whole course of Earth's evolution underwent a drastic change. The holy Christ-self of every individual was put under obligation to take note of every jot and every tittle of energy used. This was entered into the book of life and had to be accounted for by the life stream. Halls of judgment were set up, judges were appointed, and the psychic realm, a place set apart in the atmosphere of Earth, was established. It was at this time that the law of compensation was put into effect, in the belief that the recoil of the misqualified energy on the rebellious life stream through suffering would discourage him in the misuse of the God energy. It did not prove to be effective, however, and it was then that the span of existence on the earth plane was shortened, the life stream being withdrawn to the psychic plane for rest and refreshment, and returned after a specified time to the physical plane, where he was required to resume his endeavor to attain the mastery he had come to attain, at the same time being given an opportunity to redeem the energy he had contracted for. Here it was that man's conception of so-called death entered the picture, the departure of the soul to the psychic realm being construed as the end of his sojourn on earth for evermore. You will understand then, beloved friends, that the inhabitants of the psychic plane are no further advanced in spiritual knowledge than when they walked the way of earth, although conditions there have improved lately in that we have established schoolrooms where they are taught the law of life, and the violet flame temples where they receive purification. However, every evolution in the entire universe is operated under a strict tenet of wise cosmic law. This includes man and the embodied ego, who, by means of the projected consciousness of himself or another, attempts to contact souls in the psychic realm for any reason whatsoever, subjects himself, as well as others he may influence in a like practice, to a severe karmic penalty. It brings great unhappiness to the souls abiding there, drawing them by the magnetization of physical thought toward the group of unhappy spirits, known until recently as the earthbound, a state from which it is extremely difficult to extricate them. The only safe relationship between earth and the psychic planes should be prayers for the peace of the discarnate souls and the speedy transmutation of their karma through the sacred fires of purification. God bless you, Elmira. Avoiding the pitfalls. in Rosicrucian terms, avoiding the pitfall of attraction to psychic phenomena. The primary aim of the mystic is not to develop the psychic centers so as to acquire extrasensory powers. The objective should be to live harmoniously with a philosophy that contributes fully to making us happy and enhancing our relationship with others. The mere fact that a person possesses some kind of psychic faculty does not necessarily indicate any development. For some individuals who are mediums, clairvoyants, clairaudients, telepaths, etc., are relatively poorly evolved on the inner plane. On the other hand, it is quite possible to never have a paranormal experience, even though one is especially advanced on the path of spirituality. Saint Germain speaks on the dangers of the psychic and astral realm. This is an excerpt from The Magic Presence by Godfrey Ray King. Saint Germain says, people are entertained, fascinated, and self-hypnotized by the various conditions of the psychic world. But I tell you, and I know both the inner and outer activities of life from the Ascended Master's standpoint, that there is nothing good nor permanent within the psychic stratum. It is as dangerous as quicksand and just as unpredictable. The psychic plane and the outer activity of the mental and emotional world, unless they report perfection to you, are one and the same thing. It is entirely the creation of the human sense consciousness, and it is but the accumulation of human thoughts and forms, energized by human feeling. It contains nothing whatsoever of the Christ, the cosmic light. The desire for fascination of psychic phenomena is a feeling, a very subtle feeling, by which it holds the attention of the personality away from the acknowledgement, the constant adoration, the continual communion, and the permanent acceptance of the individual's mighty I Am presence. Attention to the activities of the psychic plane depletes the personal self of the energy and the ability required to reach the God source and anchor there permanently. I tell you eternal truth when I say that nothing of the Christ comes from the psychic realm, regardless of any seeming evidence to the contrary, because the psychic or outer activity of the mentality is forever changing its qualities, while the Christ, which is the eternal light, is ever expanding perfection, the one, changelessly supreme, imperishable quality. It is because of the attention to and the subtle fascination of the psychic plane that mankind is today as a mass of children needing much help and the wisdom of the Ascended Masters to raise it once more into the understanding of light, which is the only means of release from the darkness of Earth's present chaos. Beloved Zadkiel speaks from the Bridge to Freedom material. Phenomena. Mankind are far more interested in phenomena than doing the work on themselves of purifying and perfecting the earthly bodies. He says, now, the masses as yet, were you to leave this room and go down into one of your large lecture halls, would be much more interested in your precipitating from the invisible a lovely amethyst or a shower of roses than they would be in hearing my instruction or yours. Phenomena naturally comes for spiritual development as you go higher and higher in consciousness. That is the Ascended Master phenomena, the light which you see, the magnificent violet fire, sometimes the face of one of the great Ascended Ones, true. But that is a result of application and a means of a conviction, of a consciousness that is not merely seeking, curiously, for something new.